site that helps you connect with them and turn them into loyal customers. Whoops. Oh, I'm sorry, hit the wrong button. Okay, so when most people meet me for the first time or they approach me about creating a new website or getting a new website, I talk about getting a website that attracts and converts. But many people kind of get stuck there and they say, I don't really understand that because it sounds very, I don't know, techie or specialized, or I don't really understand what you're saying to me. But to me, it's pretty simple. You want a website that really is a part, like acts like a very important part of your business team. And you want to give it tasks so that it attracts the people you most want to do business with and turns them into loyal clients. So visitors who land on your website should really see on your homepage why they should do business with you and the benefit of that. So how do you make this happen? Well, it has to do with content, of course. You need to create content on your website, not just add pictures and great copy, but really content that attracts the people you most want to do business with, your ideal customers or your clients. It helps you connect with them. So it really gives people a sense that they know who you are, or they can like you or trust you very quickly. And over time, it's not going to happen on the first visit, but over time, it'll eventually convert them into loyal customers. So most people, when I first speak with them, they start here. They start by asking me what they should use. Should I use WordPress, Squarespace, Dreamweaver, Shopify, Wix, Weebly, whatever? And while what platform you use is very important, that's not really where you want to start. You want to start with your content. Okay, and that's really going to be the key, the focus here in this presentation. Now, who am I to tell you about websites and what you should do with them and how you should put them all together? As you know already, my name is Mari. I'm a writer, a website designer, a small business owner, a wife and a mother. That's my family. My daughter, Mimi, who's now 11 years old, and my husband, Wolf. He's a cinematographer. He shoots movies, TV shows, commercials, and all that. And many years ago, I was a freelance writer. I was doing copywriting, I was reporting, I was doing some corporate writing. I was a writer for hire. And someone said, you really need a website where you can put your clips up so that people can read them and then decide whether you're the right fit for them. So I created this very small website using a template in Squarespace back in the day. And I really turned that template around. I stretched it, changed it, modified it, did everything I could to make it look quite different from the original, put my content in it, learned how to use it. And over time, I started getting as many requests for web design as I was for my writing. And I thought that was kind of strange because I never thought of myself as a designer, but I really love the process. I love putting it together, putting websites together. And over time, what happened was I thought, well, the market is telling me something. It wants me to also create website design. So I studied everything I could. And eventually I started doing more website design than writing, which is pretty much the case today. So I work primarily with coaches and consultants, service providers. And so this presentation is, I think, pretty much geared towards service providers. But if I remember, I'll try to insert some comments about people who sell products as well. So what do you need on your website to really make it attractive to the people you most want to work with, do business with, keep them there, and then convert them into loyal, loving customers, clients? Well, first, you need a crystal clear message about what you do and for whom. Because if people come to your website and they don't understand what you're doing, they will bounce. The second thing you need is you need to establish yourself as the guru, the expert that people are looking for. Because when they come to your website, they usually have a problem or some kind of issue, or they need something to be fixed. And so they're looking for someone reliable and experienced and trustworthy to do that for them. You need to make it super easy for people to do business with you. So the copy has to be well written. It has to be really written with the ideal customer, the ideal client in mind. And it has to be very easy to understand. And it's not because people who visit your site are dumb or idiots. It's just there's an expectation that it's going to be well written, clear, and easy to understand, and easy for people to want to do business with you. You also want to offer a freebie or a highly discounted offer that lets people try you out. This is a lead magnet, and it's really the basis for your list building activities. And I'll be going into all of this shortly. You want to give plenty of places for people to convert. So you want to put plenty of links and buttons throughout your site that say buy now, sign up now, hire me, things like that. Let's get started. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how often you need to put those buttons in there or those links in there so that you can get people to take action on your site. And you also need the site to be, of course, speedy. It needs to load very quickly, and it needs to be responsive so that it shows up and it performs across all browsers and all devices the way that it should. Now, before we get through this, I want to remind you of something that's really, really important. Your website is for your customers. It's not for you. I mean, your business is your own, of course, and you've got these products and services that you want to sell. But the people who are using your website, those are your customers, your potential customers, and you need to build it for them. You need to make it easy for them to use, and you need to make it easy for them to understand who and what you do and what's in it for them. You need to make it for them. I mean, there's that whole, build it and they will come. Well, you got to build it for them and they will come. All right. So always keep that in mind. Use conversational copy and just always think of the people who are coming to your website. So the first thing that you really need to have on a great website, I think, is a beautifully written and very crystal clear message about who you are, what you do, who you serve, and the greatest results you achieve. It has to be clear. If people come to your website and you've got some language that just doesn't really make sense to them, to the average person, they will leave. And it's one of the key reasons, I think, that people come to a website and then they just leave. Even if it's for a service or product that they're looking for, if they don't get it, they're going to go to somewhere else. So how do you create that core message, that, mission statement, that passion and purpose statement? Well, you want to include who you are, like your name or the name of your company, what you do, who you serve, the greatest results you achieve for your customers. And if possible, you want to actually mention any pain that people can avoid by choosing you over everyone else. Now, I have created, for the purposes of this presentation, a fictional site that I'm going to show you in just a few minutes, but it's basically a boutique local gym for women who are looking to get in shape and lose weight and have a lot of energy to be moms. So I created this fictional site called The Fittest Moms, and here's what their core message would look like. It's a tall claim, I know, but at The Fittest Moms, we help new moms like you, so that's who they are, that's their ideal customer, lose up to 15 pounds in 1 month so you can feel great. Now, those are the greatest results they achieve for them, right? Without starving or cutting out foods you love. If you can write something like this, then you've really got people's attention. They're going to stay on the page and say, oh my gosh, I'm a mom and I need to lose weight and get in shape. I can tell you, after I gave birth to my daughter 11 years ago, if I found a gym like this, I would have signed up in a heartbeat. So this is what I mean when I say core message. It's the statement that you make near the top of your website to get people interested and to stay there. So the way that I often break it up for a lot of my clients is I put in the top banner image, the hero image area, the logo, the menu, as well as some kind of dream or result or aspiration that people are after. So it says what these people do: get in shape, lose the weight, and enjoy being a new mom. Those are things that would immediately attract people's attention. And then this button, Get Started Today, it's a call to action. And then right below that, at The Fittest Moms, there's that core statement that it pulls the viewer's eye down the page gradually. And it's talking to someone's pain points, their aspirations. It's stating things that people want, and then how this company can help them get it. So you always want to be talking about the results that people are after. Now, the next thing that you want to do, especially if you're a service provider, is you want to state, if possible, what you do in 3 simple steps. And what I mean by that is, look, if you're a gym that helps women lose weight and get in shape, we all know that that process is not that easy. It's not that simple. It's a lot of work and a lot of commitment. But if you can explain how you carry that process out in 3 and max 4 simple steps, then you're going to keep people on that page again. So in the case of Fittest Moms, it would be something simple like losing weight, getting in shape, and feeling great is easy as 1, 2, 3. Number one, you get an evaluation. We find out who you are, what your health status is, and we create a program just for you. Number two, you work out, you lose the weight, you get in shape, you feel great. And number three, we create a plan, a maintenance plan that helps you keep that weight off, keeps you in shape, and living the life that you want. And then there's that call to action again, get started today. So it starts to look really simple. And I'm not saying deceive your audience. I'm just saying if you can boil it down to the essence of what you do and make it understandable to people that you're really good at what you do and you have a simple process, you're going to keep people on that page a lot easier. Now, step number 3 is really important. You need to establish yourself as the expert, the guide, the guru that your people are looking for. I always tell my clients, you've got to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi to your people. And there's a trick to this, by the way. Okay. Instead of talking about yourself, you want to again highlight the results that you get for your target clients, your ideal clients. So how do you do that? Well, I think one of the best ways of doing that is to show proof of your expertise. If you can share numbers that support what you're saying, like how many people you helped lose weight last year, or you have some case studies, maybe a mini case study of before and after that you could put on your homepage, that's a big winner. You always want to point to specific problems that you've solved for previous customers, because if you can do that, then people will really identify with it. They'll say, oh, wow, I was out of shape and I needed to get into shape and lose weight. And these people have done it. Now I'm really intrigued. Okay, so in the case of this Fittest Moms gym, they wouldn't say we're the number one gym in Pasadena or Beverly Hills or anything like that. They'd say, hey, regular gyms won't get you these results. That's one way of putting it. We've helped 355 women reach their goals in 2019 to 2020. Average weight loss in the first month, 10 pounds. That's huge. That's data that I hope they would be able to back up. Here's something interesting. Many of our clients have reversed pre-diabetes. And all of our clients say they have more energy, confidence, and feel healthier than ever. These are things that the ideal customers of this company want. These are results that the visitors are looking for. And that's how you establish yourself as this guide, this expert that people want to hire, they want to pay. And then again, there's that get started today button, that call to action. So number 4, you've probably seen these on a lot of websites, is you want to have knockout testimonials. So something like, oh, John was great, or Darius is awesome, highly recommend. That's not going to cut it. It just doesn't. People want stories in testimonials. They want something that they can really, identify with. And so the parts of a great testimonial, and if you are a service provider, or even if you sell a product really, you should be collecting these on a regular basis from the people you do business with. You want to get your customer's original problem and why they came to you. What happened in the beginning? You want them to state what it was like to work with you, or how your product worked for them, how it helped them. You want them to state the results that they achieved by going with you. And at the end, you want a wholehearted recommendation to others with the same problem. So once again, in the case of this gym, you could get someone to write this. When I started working with Tom, I was 30 pounds overweight, pre-diabetic, and my cholesterol was sky high. I tried working out on my own at the gym, but skipped classes, made excuses for not going, and basically didn't get any results. So this woman, this testimonial, stating what the problem was and how hard it was for her to, get in shape and lose the weight and so on. So she goes to Fittest Moms, and the trainer Tom created a program for me that was easy to follow, made sense, and made me want to go to the gym and go running on my own. Now I've lost 20 pounds and I'm ready to drop the final 10 or more. I can't say enough good things about Tom. Highly recommend. That is a testimonial that will really help convince people to stay on your website and even possibly make a buying decision. They say, well, this guy did it for her. I'm going to investigate, find out more, and maybe even hire this guy. Pretty awesome. So those are the kind of testimonials you want. You want to be collecting them on a regular basis. And you can ask people to write them for you and then edit them, or you can write them for them and have them edit them, but get their permission, get their name. If you can get a good picture to support it, great. So testimonials are a definite must-have. You also want a bio on your homepage, as well as a terrific about page that really inspires trust. Because I think I just mentioned this, when people first come to your website, they are not going to buy from you. It takes them at least 5, 7, sometimes even 10 visits before they decide to make a purchasing decision. And so you need to inspire trust. You need to inspire empathy. And you need to inspire them to believe that you understand completely what their situation is and that you're the best person for them. So again, going back to this Fittest Moms example, I wrote created by moms for moms. So hi there, we started Fit Moms. Whoops, I'm sorry, it should be Fittest Moms, because we struggle to balance work, rest, new motherhood, and health goals just like you. So there's that, identifying with the visitor type thing. Most gyms and trainers were not very helpful nor understanding of what we were going through. We've perfected our methods and programs so that all women can safely get back in shape, get stronger, and most of all, enjoy being new moms. So join us and give yourself this gift. Get started today. See, it's constantly talking to that ideal client in a conversational manner. It's always talking about results that they achieve for these people. It's creating empathy. It's building that know, like, and trust factor, those factors, I'm sorry, right away in a very simple and yet casual and I think rather convincing manner. All right. Now, this is one of the most important parts of this presentation and about any website out there anyway. You want to offer an irresistible freebie. You want to offer a lead magnet. That's exactly what it is. It brings in leads because your website really is a very important part of your entire business. It's like another team member. So you need to give it tasks. And the reason why you want to do this is you're trying to build your email marketing list. So if you write, a monthly newsletter, that's, part of the list building process. And the reason why you do it is because you're letting people get to know you. You're getting to know them. You're telling them about yourself and what you offer, special offers, things like that. And it's also a great place to start your sales. Once you have people who have opted into your list, they want to buy from you eventually. They want to get to know you first through your newsletter, and eventually they will buy from you. So when you offer them an irresistible freebie, a lead magnet, you give that in exchange for their email address, and they're basically consenting to hear from you. So what can you offer? You can offer a free class. It's as easy as that. That's a really great, effective tool for getting people on your list. You can also offer access to a video that teaches people something, or teaching video that solves a problem that they have, that they, been looking for help with. You can also offer a PDF download, which is what I do. This is one that is based on this presentation, actually. And it explains something about your process or about your business, or helps people with a specific problem. If they don't understand what a website is, a website that attracts and converts is, well, here's a little thing that shows you what it's all about and the basics of creating that. You can also offer a free consultation. And I do have a little advice about this because consultations can be tricky. Sometimes people say that they feel like they're being taken advantage of in a free consultation. So here's my advice. If you offer a free consultation, have your prospects fill out a questionnaire or some kind of form before they speak to you. A short one, 5 questions, just so that you know a little bit about them before you get started. Set a specific time for the consult. So, use a booking calendar so that they can choose the date and the time for it, and limit that consultation to about 30 minutes. And during that time, make sure that you take notes about what this person or what this business's problems are, and then offer them a solution at the very end of it so that they really get to experience your expertise. And at the end of this, of course, encourage them to look at your website, your services, and your products and say, I think that the next step is to work with us on this, or to buy this product. I think it'll help you, something like that. But you don't want consultations to get out of hand. They're a great way of getting new clients. You just, you know, keep yourself in mind there. Now, if you sell products, I also suggest in a way of building a list is to offer samples of what you make if possible at a very low price. A few years ago, I started getting into clean, non-toxic, mineral-based makeup, and it's really expensive and it's really hard to find sometimes. But I found a company, I believe, based in Virginia called With Simplicity Beauty, and they were selling samples for, I think, $4 at the time. And what happened was, after I bought the samples, I signed up for their newsletter, which I get once a month, and just loved their product. Ended up buying from them on a regular basis. And of course, in their newsletter, they always advertise new products and special deals and so on. So that's another reason why you want an email newsletter list. You want to get that list going because people who subscribe to you get to know you and they like you and they buy from you. It does take time to build it, but it is really, really worth it. Now, number 7, you want to give people plenty of chances to convert. And I alluded to that earlier. And don't be afraid of, banging people over the head. You need to remind people regularly throughout your website on every page what action they need to take to get the results that they're after. So you've seen it before already in some of the pictures I showed you, but there's this button, Get Started Today. And while we're here, why don't I just show you the site that I created quickly for this presentation, which is the Fittest Moms, this gym that helps new moms get in shape, lose the weight, and enjoy being a new mom. That's the kind of catchy headline, the aspiration, the result that people are going after. And there you have it, that Get Started Today button. And then right below the core message about who they help, the greatest results they achieve for them, and the pain they might even avoid by going to Fittest Moms, there's that Get Started Today. And then again, get into your best shape ever in 3 simple steps. You've got the evaluation, the workout, maintenance, a little brief description of each, and then Get Started Today. It could be, view our classes or sign up for a class today. In any case, this repeats throughout the whole thing. Here's a section where you want to state, you want to establish yourself as the guide, the guru that everyone's looking for, where you don't talk about yourself again, you talk about the results that you achieve for your ideal clients. And then there's that Get Started Today button. So you see, if you give people a lot of reminders, I mean, if you don't want to do it in every section, you don't have to, but I do recommend putting it several times throughout a page because you're not knocking someone over the head with this. You're basically saying, hey, look, if there are some results that you're after and we can give them to you, we can provide them to you, then get started today, sign up today. Same down here, here's the mini bio. And then here's the final call to action, no more excuses. Let's get your pre-baby body back and more. Get started today. And finally, there's the freebie, the lead magnet. So you don't want to say, I don't think, you don't want to say something like sign up for my newsletter because frankly, I don't want someone's newsletter. I want news, I want the freebie, I want something that's exciting, that's enticing. And the call to action button there is a little bit different. It says, take our most foundational 30-minute class, get a free PDF with meal plans. And so I'd like the video and the meal plan. So once they click this button, it would take them to a sign up for the newsletter to opt in. And then eventually through a series of emails that come after that, it would lead to that new subscriber's access to the free PDF and the video. And there you've got someone who's getting to try you out. They're on your list, and then you start building that relationship with them. Okay, where was I? Okay. Now, I said that I had some bonuses for you because, well, I just do. So instead of just the 7 things you need for your website to be great to attract and convert, here's another one. You want pictures that tell great stories. And what do I mean by that? A picture that tells a great story is not one that has like a beginning, middle, and an end like a movie. But a great story in a picture is a picture that tells people something very different, very unique about you, that's memorable, and eventually actually pushes that person toward hopefully a buying decision. So let me give you an example. This guy, he's a former client of mine. He's a legendary baseball pitching and football quarterbacking coach. He's worked with some of the top people in the pros and all the way down to little leaguers, I think. His name is Tom House, and he's a really great guy. This picture was taken by a professional photographer, and I like it. It shows you what he looks like, but it doesn't necessarily tell you much about Tom. And Tom and his crew of coaches often have these specialized clinics and camps that are really quite expensive. And so parents and athletes alike want to know, well, if I go to that camp, is Tom going to work with me one-on-one, or am I just going to get shoved off to one of his other coaches? Well, when we worked on the redesign of his site, um, his former site, um, I took a professional photographer down there with part of that in mind. And here's what we came up with. There's Tom again. And this guy, I believe, was a college player who came all the way from Japan. He wanted to make sure that he was going to work with Tom one-on-one at some point. He got it. And now I think if other athletes and parents see a picture like this, they'll say, oh, wow, my kid or I will work out with Tom directly at some point. It's worth the hundreds or thousands of dollars that they pay for, a weekend or a few weeks working out with Tom and his coaches. And so that's what I mean. If you use pictures that tell stories that really show you at work, that are memorable, that show that you do things differently, it is part of the process of getting people to convert. It makes them go closer, faster to a buying decision. So don't be afraid no matter what you do. If you can get some unique pictures of yourself at work, try to. Always hire a professional if you can afford it. If you're a chef, I mean, frankly, I've seen so many pictures of chefs in front of their establishments with their arms crossed across their chests. I mean, it's kind of a cool picture, but frankly, who cares? I want to see the chef at work. I want to see what the chef makes. I find that fascinating. That might pull me in. The same with financial advisors. I tell all my financial advisor clients, if you can, show a picture of you working with a client or maybe just the team, but give people a sense of how you work, what's different about you, something that's memorable. If you own a candy store, get some really colorful pictures of that candy. I mean, candy is colorful and yummy. So, don't just show the store front, but really try to find amazing pictures. Number 9, there are only 2 more points. You want to make sure that your site is fast. It loads quickly and it loads properly. And I think that there is just an expectation now that sites should load quickly. I don't think people necessarily have short attention spans. I just think that, we're in an age of broadband and all that. If your site isn't loading quickly, you have to do something about it. Now, the first part of that, of course, is you have to choose a really good web host. I recommend going with, top flight web hosts like the ones here, Laughing Squid. I just love, love, love. If you're using WordPress, please go with a WordPress specialist like WP Engine or Flywheel. There are a bunch out there. Or Mosaic Data Services is a web host I found very recently. There's another one in Boston called Chili Dog. As you can tell, I'm kind of staying away from like the big names out there because I've always, with my clients, found that they have customer service problems that really kind of limit us and become problematic over time. Also make sure that all of your pictures are well optimized for the web so that they're not these huge like 5, 10, 20 megabyte pictures, but they're nicely compressed, still high quality, they load quickly. And finally, bonus point number 10. This is pretty obvious, but it's very important. You need to make your website work everywhere, across every device and every browser out there. You need to test your site, or if you're working with a designer, make sure that that's part of their services, that it's well tested before it gets launched, and that you watch it very carefully in the few weeks right after the launch, because you might catch some errors or problems or things that come up. I had one client a few years ago call me and say, hey, Mari, the site's not loading properly on Edge. And I felt really dumb. I said, what's Edge? And he said, it's a browser. But we quickly fixed it and everything was working fine. But you need to test it and you need to make sure it works everywhere. And you need to make sure that the mobile version works the same as the desktop version and vice versa. All right. So we have come almost to the end of this presentation. So I'll give you a quick recap. What do you need to have on a website that makes it awesome, that attracts, connects with the people you most want to do business with, and converts them? Well, you need to have a clear core message. It should be so crystal clear when people come to your site, what you do and who you serve and the results you get right away, or else people really will just bounce. You need to have an easy 3-step process for people to achieve their goals with you. 4 steps max, I think, especially on the home page. If you sell products, put your 3 best selling products up there. If you only sell one, put that up there prominently and state the features and the benefits, like what it is, what it's made of, or what it does. And again, those results that it helps people achieve, because that's what people are after when they come to your website. You want to establish yourself as the expert, the guide, the guru that people are looking for. And again, the trick is not to mention much about yourself, but again, the results that you achieve, that you have achieved for people in the past. So offer data, things like that. You want to offer an outstanding freebie or highly discounted offer, because that's part of your effort to build your email marketing list. And email marketing is just still king. It's the easiest way after you've built a list to sell to, because those people have consented to get your emails. They want to know who you are. They want to get to know you better. So make the effort, do it at least once a month, maybe twice a month, if you can, once a week. But you really want to build a relationship with your subscribers that way. You also want to have unforgettable testimonials. So again, don't do the, hey, Mike, great, for highly recommend. It doesn't work. You need them to tell a story about what their problem was, how you solved it, and how everything is great now and that they recommend you. You want to include a bio that inspires trust and likability. When people come to your website, they don't know who you are. They're not going to buy from you right away. But if they start to get to know you and they feel that your story resonates with them, they feel that they can trust you, that keeps them there. It makes them remember you, makes you memorable. You want to give people plenty of chances to convert. Okay, so don't feel, you'll modify it if you have to, but don't be afraid to put plenty of buttons up there, links that say sign up now, opt in now, contact us, buy now, and so on. Okay, get started now. A website is never a finished product anyway. It's one that requires change and fine tuning over time. You want to use pictures that tell great stories. So again, you want to show, if possible, you at work, your place of work, show something unique, maybe some equipment that you use that no one else is using. You want people to remember who you are, and great pictures really can push people to a buying decision. Your site needs to load quickly, so use a really good web host. Optimize your site so that it does load quickly. And also, it needs to look and perform equally in all browsers and devices. That's really important. There's just that expectation that it will. And if it doesn't, it can be problematic for you. Okay, so now that I've told you not the 7 things you really need to have a great site, but really 10, I just urge you right now to write down one thing that you can do if you have a website already, that you can improve on your website or change to make it better. Because if you don't write something down or you don't make note of it, I think that, you might forget, or you might not really see it as an urgent need, or you might just forget it, or put it off and then, not remember. So I do urge you to write down what you can do now out of all these points. What could be the easiest way to get started? And I can pretty much guarantee you that once you do get started, you will gain momentum. You will start to see things on your site and say, you know what, maybe I should do that. Or maybe I don't have enough calls to action. Or gosh, I've been talking about starting a newsletter. Yeah, I should do it today. Or I have a feeling that the core message on my site is not clear enough. So I better work on that. So write down what you can do. Now, once you do have that website that you just love and you're totally confident about pointing people to, you mention it without hesitation, then go out and do that. One of the ways of driving traffic to your site, because everyone has a website, if you just put it up there and don't mention it to people, they won't come. You've got to get out there, you've got to call people, you've got to email friends, you've got to text them and all this stuff. There's a fair amount of legwork that you need to do. And also, of course, get onto social media if you can, if you're on there, and mention it. Point to blog posts you might have written, point to a new product or service that you're offering, point to a testimonial. Say, someone said this really nice thing about us. It's just amazing. We love our customers. We'd love to help you. and so on and so on. You've got to stay active. There are so many websites out there. So just putting one up there and hoping that traffic will come to it and you'll get customers is not really going to work. You have to do a fair amount of work on your own, but enjoy it, because once you have a website that you really like, it's going to be so much easier to market your business, because you're not going to be behind that website shame that so many people have of, oh, don't go to my website, it's like really crappy. Once you have a great website, it really helps your business. And that is it. I said this presentation was going to be about the 7 things. I gave you 3 extra little things there. So if you have any questions or comments, speak now or forever hold your peace. And just a quick reminder of who I am, Mari Pfeiffer, writer and website designer. And feel free to follow and connect with me on any of these social media platforms, or if you have questions, you can send me an email, go to my website. I would love to hear from you. So thank you very much for having me this evening. And I hope that this was informative, maybe even a little bit entertaining and helpful to you.
Thank you so much, Mari. That was awesome. We do have a few questions. Let's go through them, I guess. The first one asked by Deed. I think you pretty much covered it, but he asked, to show proof of expertise, how effective are testimonials? Example on a carousel. I'm not sure if you have any more thoughts on that, but I know you went through the testimonial section.
I love carousel testimonials. I really do. And I think that if you have 3 to 5 that are, like I said, they tell a story. So they state why someone came to you with a certain problem and how you solved it, and that they recommend you. If you have testimonials like that, one after another, it's going to make a huge difference, I think. It's social proof that you're really good at what you do. And I really like seeing those, because I myself, as a consumer or a potential client to someone else, I just look for those. It's like buying a product on Amazon or anywhere else, or looking at Yelp for reviews. It adds credibility. It makes you think. So I totally recommend that.
Awesome. Cool. So the next one, Alexandra is curious, what about websites that act as portfolios for writers/artists? What design elements are key to attract people to hire you? And if you are a generalist and not a specialist, how do you create a website that shows that to be a strength and makes you more attractive?
That's really good. That's a tough question, because, let's take is this person asking about, are they a writer or are they a visual artist? Did they say?
Alexander, feel free to let us know. She says both.
Both. Okay. Well, as a writer, I think that maybe you can break up the type of writing into categories. So, for example, when I was a writer, not a website designer, I would break it up into copywriting, corporate writing, journalism, reporting, things like that. And so it was really easy for people to find what they were looking for if they were looking for a type of writing. And I think there is even some kind of an expectation for that. Also, I didn't talk about search engine optimization in this presentation, because I believe that's something that would take up a whole hour or longer. But if you break it up into categories, it does help your search engine optimization. It helps people find you a lot more easily when you have something like fashion reporting, corporate annual report copywriting, something like that. Now, as far as a visual portfolio, one thing that I really recommend is, if possible, of course, get the best pictures you can to put on your website. And one thing I've found, a friend of mine is an artist, told me that if you put the art in like a display, like how it would look in someone's house or how it would look in someone's office, you give people the idea of how it's going to look when they buy it. And it sparks their imagination. And it gets them excited to think, oh, wow, that looks great in that picture above the mantelpiece, above the fireplace. Oh, I'd love to buy that. or, you know, you can tell a story about the kind of work you do. Of course, again, if you want to break it up into categories like oil paintings, watercolor, things like that. I'm crazy about watercolor paintings. And so as beautiful as someone's oil color paintings are, I just naturally go for watercolor, and that's what I would want to see. So I hope that that's helpful. You want to, of course, make sure that the pictures are nicely optimized for the web so that they load quickly.
Awesome. Let's see. So Maggie is curious, what do you think about including prices on the site? Is it best to be transparent or to leave it off so there's flexibility to work with individuals?
I'm a big proponent of putting prices on websites. Even if in the end, the price that someone pays is going to be a little bit different from the one that's on the website. So for service providers, you might offer packages. You might have a beginner package, or you might divide it by colors, like the bronze, the silver, and the gold packages for whatever it is that you offer. But if you offer, I think, prices, it gives people an immediate sense of the kind of investment they're going to make in your services. And I think that's really important. And then when they contact you, they might say, well, oh, you offer this for $5,000. That's a little bit beyond my budget. Would you consider a discount, or do you offer anything maybe smaller for a little bit less? And you might just not have it on your site. But I think um, I'm always for putting prices on a website whenever possible. Because some people will just say, I have no idea what they charge. You know what? I'll just go find someone else who does the same thing, and I see their prices.
Yeah. Uh, Great. Thank you, Mari. Any other questions? That was everything in the chat, but feel free, anybody, to speak up or chat another question. If not, we will wrap up. Oh, someone asked, can you share your presentation? I guess that's kind of up to you, Mari, if if someone wants to get in touch with you, chat about it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think was it Courtney asked me if I had slides from this presentation. So I forgot to do it earlier, but I will create PDF slides and give you guys a link if you want to look at them later in your free time. And I believe that this is being recorded, so you can all watch it again.
Yeah. Yep, this is recorded. On that note, I'll quickly thank Mari. Thank you so much. This is really awesome. I learned a lot. Just thought about 1,000 things that my own website could improve upon. So thank you for the informative discussion and sharing your expertise with us. Thank you all who joined tonight. It was great to share this presentation with everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Another quick plug, you can visit Columbia SoCal Alumni's website for future events that are coming up. We'd love to have you. We have events going on every week. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you all will get a recording of this afterwards, and we hope to see you at future events coming up. Thank you again, Maury. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.